So, the basis of what this reading is about, you have the Page of Pentacles. Your current energies is the Eight of Swords. Your near future is the Ace of Pentacles. Then your challenge regarding this situation is the Three of Wands reversed, and what is recommended for you is Temperance. Now, the Page of Pentacles, so this situation could have to do with some type of message you received, and this message would most likely be more on like a, I don't want to say a work or practical aspect, some type of practical or financial aspect of your life. It could be work, it could be like finances, it could be something to do with your house or something like that. Or this could be regarding someone who is a little bit younger, but youth, to me, I'm not going to say younger as in like age, because sometimes people are old as hell and they're very young mentally. So it could be regarding some kind of person that is a little bit more mentally younger, more mentally more naive, but they're learning. They're not super young, but yeah, they're kind of young, you know, mentally, some kind of young energy mentally, or even like spiritually or whatever. Or it could represent something that you've been trying to do regarding, like, you're almost like learning something. There might be something that you're doing that you are trying to learn some of the details. It could be newer to you. It could be a situation or whatever it is newer to you that you're trying to learn some of the details, because the pages to me are the students as well. So they could represent getting involved in something and you're not as seasoned as, let's say, the king would be, but you're learning the details of it. You're trying to figure it out. So it's like that type of energy. So something in your life regarding something like that, this is what this reading is talking about. Now, currently in your energy, you have the Eight of Swords. So this is about self-imposed restrictions. So now this could be, because the swords represent your thoughts. So you could either be restricting yourself mentally in some kind of way, or like almost like not wanting to leave a comfort zone, or you're kind of almost stuck and you don't know how to proceed forward. And that could be because, let's say if you're learning something, you are, you might, sometimes, you know, when you're learning, you're a student, you learn something and now you got to learn something else. You don't always have the roadmap to figure out, okay, well, I've learned this aspect, but now how do I get from here to over here? And what's all this in between? So you might not really have like a clear direction of, okay, like, well, I'm trying to figure this out. Well, what's the next thing I have to figure out? How do I do this? Sometimes it could be a little bit frustration. Maybe you're getting a little frustrated, so you're kind of staying stuck. But sometimes with the Eight of Swords, I would get this when I was like a student and I needed to stay home and write those essays. So it could also be that you might be restricting yourself from things because you're trying to stay focused on whatever this Page of Pentacles represents for you. Or if this is a message for somebody, some of you, you might not have all the full details yet regarding how to proceed forward. So you're kind of stuck in a zone of like, I can't really move forward because I don't know all the details yet. So that could resonate, you know, take it how it works for you. But what's coming in for you in the near future is the Ace of Pentacles. So I think that you're not going to be stuck. I think you're going to be proceeding forward. I think you're probably going to get some information, or something's going to change in your life where you're now ready to kind of move forward. Even if it's you finishing something with the Eight of Swords, if it like you had to stay in a stuck situation because maybe you're waiting for a contract to run out, or maybe you had to finish something up first before you could start something else, or maybe you're waiting for even an item to come in the mail, or whatever it is. You're starting new. You're starting something in the future. So this could also be like a new opportunity being presented to you. So, but there's definitely, and because it's a Pentacles, it would be really more of like your monetary. It could be financial, practical, or some aspect where it's a little bit more the tangible aspects of your life regarding, let's say, work, like an opportunity or something like that. But something new is coming in for you. So that's really, really positive. Now, your challenge regarding this is the Three of Wands reverse. Now, this is indicating that you might either be putting too much on your plate, so you're not actually being as effective where you need to be because you got too much going on. You might have no direction. You might not know what the next phase is or what the next move should be, so you're a little aimless or not really or it could even indicate that you're not even getting out of your comfort zone. Because the Eight of Swords could also be like you staying stuck in a comfort zone as well. Like you're scared to move beyond that. So your challenge is going to be to move beyond a certain comfort zone or get maybe a little bit more organized, because the wands are about action and everything like that. So you might need to get something a little bit more organized so you're kind of ready to take on or tackle this Ace of Pentacles opportunity coming in. Now, for some of you, I really am getting, you might have been learning something and you might not be with this reverse here, this Three of Wands reverse, not really sure how to maybe even sometimes put it into practical application. Like you could learn things all you want in the book, but sometimes when it's time to do, you don't know what the hell you're doing. So it could be a little bit of you needing to get, I don't want to say out of the book, but actually get some action behind it so you can kind of get some traction or understanding how it's really supposed to be implemented in like a practical sense or a physical setting in a way. And you need to get unstuck. You need to just do it or figure it out. And sometimes as you do things, you figure out what's best and what's not. But definitely something, the Ace of Pentacles, something new is coming in for you. And that's really, really positive. Now, what's recommended for you guys is you have Temperance. And this is about balancing things together, merging multiple aspects of your life or of a situation harmoniously. And I feel like for some of you, because this might actually be something new that you're embarking on, because we do have a page here, so there's a little bit more of the youthful energy, the new energy for something, that you might need to kind of either balance home work life or work hobby life or whatever this is, work side hustle home life. You might have to balance multiple aspects of your life. But I think you're going to be able to do this. I think this is really positive, but it's just reminding you that you have to overcome this challenge. If you're taking on too much, you need to maybe cut certain things back or figure out a better way. Or if you feel a little aimless, you have to try things and to see what works the best for you regarding this. But let's see what else we get for you guys. So first up, you have Stag Spirit, take the lead, and you also have Chameleon Spirit, act as if. So it's interesting that you have these two, because I feel like if some of you are being a little aimless or a little trying to overachieve in a way with this Three of Wands, you might have to kind of take the lead to be like, okay, I got to have more balance. I got to do certain things, or I got to cut certain things out. And you might have to take that decisive measures with that. Even the Eight of Swords, this person kind of needs to take the lead in a way. They need to be like, okay, but depending on what this Eight of Swords represents for you, because sometimes I get this when I have to take the lead and keep myself at home or figure something out or do something that needs to get done. So you'll know for yourself, but even within that, that's you taking the lead of some decisive action to try to push something forward, you know? So, and acting as if. With this Page of Pentacles, I think sometimes the issues we get when we are learning something new is that we feel that we're new, and we are new. And you might be feeling, whatever this Ace of Pentacles is, it might be like a new opportunity or a side hustle or something new going on for you. And you might not be as confident as you were if you were doing it for like 20 years, you know? But I think acting as if will give you that kind of confidence boost that you might need to be like, okay, well, I'm doing this. I am new at this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it a try, and I'm capable of doing it. And that would be also with this Temperance, because Temperance, it's going to act as if they're going to try things out. So I think you just need to, I think that's extremely good advice with these two. So next up, you have a Moonstone, live your purpose. And I think for some of you, whatever this represents, it's something that you probably want to do. Because I think anytime you take a little bit extra, let's say if you are studying for something or trying to learn something new, anytime you take the extra effort to actually learn something or look into something a little further, that's kind of you more aligning with what you really enjoy. So I think that's really fantastic. But I think if some of you, if you're waiting on some type of, or you got some type of news or whatever, and you're in this little pause state, I think living your purpose is to try to, because sometimes when we get news, we almost like feel like we're helpless in a sense, you know? Because you're waiting, you don't know how something's going to turn out. So, but living your purpose, I think it's going to kind of like remind you that maybe if you are waiting on some type of news, you don't have to stay like almost like stuck, or there might be something within the news that you have like some type of option or some type of way to blend something together to make sure that it's aligning with what you want. For instance, let's say if you're selling your house and somebody, they're signing a contract on it, or it's under contract or whatever, and now there's some, you know, the buyer, some funny business is going on, or if you're the buyer, whatever, some funny business is happening, and it's kind of not making you happy. I think that live your purpose is here to say, like, don't just bend, you know, to whatever demands that might be completely unreasonable, that there might be some way to merge something or blend something or come to some type of resolution. So don't just follow somebody else's lead, you know. You have to even, I don't want to say even bluff it sometimes. Sometimes you got to bluff a little bit. So act as if you might have to kind of bluff it a little bit. But that's what I'm getting for that. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, so then you have soulmates, soul connection, partnerships, agreement, soul contract, and you have clock, need time, take time, in time, cycles, time to heal, progress. And I think that like whatever this represents for you, I definitely think it's kind of like there's some type of either contract involved for some of you, like let's say if you were buying or selling a house, or it could be some type of, you just feel like, let's say if you're studying something or you're learning about a new hobby or you're learning something, you could feel that it's really more destined for you. It's something that you might have to, it might be an additional aspect of your life that you have to kind of somehow blend with your life or add to your life, but you have to figure out a harmonious way to do that. But I definitely think this is something that's going to be a little bit more long-term for you, or something that you're trying to set up. Now, clock, need time, take time, in time, cycles, time to heal, progress. I think this is saying that sometimes, because whatever this is could be like a new situation, it might take time, and because the temperance is here, it's saying that you will have to put like the time in over the long run. So you have to kind of maybe get a little bit more, your challenge is to be more planning. So even if you're not necessarily seeing progress right away, you might have to kind of just almost plan for no action or no progress, you know, but still plan more effectively, or see the next steps to kind of push this forward or figure that out. Be a little bit more proactive, I guess, with it, even if you're not seeing initial progress. Because I think with the Ace of Pentacles, I think this is saying that whatever this represents, if this resonates, there could be potential for long-term success with it. But the Pentacles, you know, it's like a new little thing. You have to nurture it, you have to help grow it, you have to put the effort into making it actually turn into something, and that takes time. Now you have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Now this could be represent love, or this could represent whatever this is for you. If you're feeling a little stuck with the Eight of Swords, it's saying that there might be some, you know, especially because you have the clock here, takes time, that something might be taking a little bit of time, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that, you know, it needs some time. There might be something with like that you have to wait a little bit or be patient. Now you have manifestations. A bountiful time awaits you. Your wishes could manifest right before your eyes. So I definitely think that because you have the Ace of Pentacles here, I definitely think there's something new coming in for you, potentially regarding your financial situation, or even monetary, your like assets or something. And I think that's really, really good. But I think this, because you have the Page of Pentacles and the Temperance here, I think it's something that you are actually going to be participating in. Like, I don't think you're hitting the lottery. I mean, I guess you participate in the lottery, you go get the tickets or whatever. But I think it's something that maybe was like some type of dream or goal that you could potentially have. And I think you're on track to like achieving it. But I do think it's maybe a little bit more of the baby stages, you know? But everybody got to start somewhere. Anyway, now we have love. to the moon and back. And I think for some of you, this might be something that you really love or something that you've always wanted to try or always wanted to be involved in. Or it could even indicate that it's something that you will really like enjoy down the road, because you even had with the partnerships here. So this is something that could be like very either lucrative for you or something that really just makes you very happy, like a very good decision in a sense. And sometimes you don't realize something's a good decision in the moment, but down the road you're like, oh, I'm so happy I did that. That was great. Good job on my part. Now you have throat chakra, expression. Express your true self. The world needs you. So, and I definitely think that this could be regarding some type of thing that you are creating within your life and that actually other people will appreciate or could enjoy. So I definitely think this is really, really great. But you had, what else did you have? You had something else over here. Hold on a second here. What was it? Live your purpose. I feel like this could even be going with the live your purpose. Sometimes when you do something that you want to do or you feel compelled to do, you inspire other people by just like living life the way you want to live. So this could be something kind of like you're adding either to your community or your life or your family, but you're adding it through your actions and through kind of going after something, whatever this represents for you. Now you have, for your little affirmation card, you have, today I am learning. Today I will focus on learning to grow into a better person. And this is beautiful. And I think with this Page of Pentacles, I do think some of you are really like trying to learn something. And even if this is a message, if this represents some type of message, sometimes we get messages and we're like, I don't know what this means or what's going on here. And it kind of spurs you into actually looking into something further, whether it's like legalities or some situation, it kind of, it spurs you into kind of like, okay, well, I've gotten this thing from the bank or whatever. Now I need to look into what this means. And it makes you kind of find either about certain rights that you have or certain options that are available to you depending on what this means. So I think I'm a big person that I think learning is extremely important. I think there's a lot of different ways to learn, and I think we have a lot of different options now to learn, but I definitely always think that it is good to actively be learning something new, even if it's something silly. You could love, learning about grass or whatever. Grass is important too, but it could be some type of passion or something that you really enjoy. So I think that's wonderful. I think it's always good to kind of keep your brain, kind of going a little bit. It's good for the soul. Now, find your new normal. Take off the shit-colored glasses. So I think this is saying that with the Eight of Swords here, some of you might be keeping yourself a little stuck, or you might almost feel paralyzed a little bit because you might not really know exactly how to navigate something or what to do next. Because with the Three of Wands reversed, they don't really have maybe the game plan. It's a rough, loose sketch of a game plan, but they don't really know how to actually make it work. So I think this is about saying that you might have to see something, like if you're keeping yourself stuck in a way, you might have to see something for what it is, or be willing to face some of the, I don't want to say the negative consequences, but the negative aspects of something, or the difficulties. Because I think a lot of times, I think, the youth or the young-minded, they don't always see the problems. They're young, or even young in the mind, whatever. They're very optimistic. The world is the oyster. Everything is perfect. They haven't seen the crap yet. They don't know. They are just very enthusiastic and excited, and everything's going to work out fantastic. They don't know that the shenanigans hiding everywhere. Around every corner, there's an obstacle, a problem, or a shenanigan ready to pop up. So I think for some of you, this could be saying that if you are in this young energy as far as like learning something or doing something, and you're very optimistic, I definitely think for some of you, you might need to really take a look at the situation, so very clearly or from different angles, just to make sure that, because you're going to hit up against those problems. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, no, yes. Oh, we all do. They're out there and they're coming for you. They're coming for me as well. They're coming for us all. So you might have to kind of take almost like, because I feel like this is very practical. So you might have to look practically at, if this is a new idea or aspect in your life, like what are some of the problems that this could have? What is some of the resolutions? How can you move this forward? Or even just with with this Three of Wands reversed, like your game plan, you might have to really acknowledge that your game plan, I don't say sucks a little bit. Your game plan might be causing you to be stuck right now, and you might have to think a little bit more finer details as far as like, okay, what can I do today? What can I do tomorrow? And what can I do next week to kind of push this forward? Or what are some of the issues I might be facing? So I think that's really, really positive. Now, we have no one ever injured their eyesight by looking on the bright side. And I think this is saying that you just need to kind of still look at the positives. Still remind yourself why you're doing this or what this represents for you or what this could be for you. And stay positive in it. So that's positive. That's really great. Now, for your little Bob Ross quote, we have, let's get crazy. What the heck? Take a 2-inch brush. This is your bravery test. So this is guy saying, and I really feel like this is going with this reading so well. Bob Ross knows. Let me tell you, Bob Ross is here with us today at this moment. He's connected to this reading. Anyway, so he's saying, because I feel like for some of you, whatever this represents with the page, whether it's like kind of a message that's come in and you learn something new, or if it's some type of thing that you're trying, or there's some kind of, this learning something, or this youthfulness, or not quite being a master of something yet. And this is saying, because in a way, you might be feeling that like you are new at something and you're not really sure either how to move it forward, but you're almost painting with a 2-inch brush, like maybe you don't have the big guns yet. Like, let's say if this is, I don't know, something you want to do, whatever it is, you might not have all the stuff for it yet. You might have a few things, but you don't have that, I don't want to say that big dick energy, but sometimes you got to come with that a little bit. But even if you have a 2-inch brush energy, that's okay. Just, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but you need to just work with what you got, like the as if. So even if you have a little bit of whatever this is, or you have a little bit of knowledge and you might not have the full experience or the full knowledge as maybe some other people in this situation have, just act as if, and just, you take with what you got and you do something with it. That's what Bob Ross is saying. Don't worry about it. You don't need to have the big brush, okay? You don't need it. You just take with what you got, use what you have, and you just paint whatever. You do something. You can actively be a participant in painting the life that you want, even if you have a tiny little brush. Bob Ross is saying it's not the size of the brush, it's how you use it. Okay, now for your little stress relief and self-care card, you have self-care, objective, feel good about yourself. Give yourself a massage or pampering treatment, such as a pedicure or face mask. Whenever you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the present moment and sink into the sensation of the massage or treatment. Remember, you're only as great as your thoughts allow you to be. Treat yourself under stressful situations. Allow you to whoosh and get back to positive thoughts. Okay, allow you to woosah. It's like, whoosh? I was like, I don't understand this. Let me read that again. Remember, you're only as great as your thoughts allow you to be. Treating yourself under stressful situations allow you to woosah and get back to positive thoughts. Whatever. Some of you can whoosh, some of you can woosah. You do what's best for you. But I think this is really, really great. And I feel like this feeling good, especially if you have this 8 of Swords, where because sometimes with this 8 of Swords, I think it could be extremely positive, but I think it could be a little bit like you're also a little self-doubt, not really sure. You're feeling a little stuck. But I think whatever you're doing, you just need to remind yourself that you're doing something maybe a little bit larger, or you're being stuck for a reason, for some type of greater good, and you're not going to stay stuck forever, if that makes sense for some of you. Okay, now the spirit of the dish that shall be with you during this time, you have the spirit of the Knight of Sides, which is the spirit of the mashed potatoes. Okay, so for your dinner and a movie, you have American food and thriller movies. And for the energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of at this time, you have Leo. And this is all about ego and individuality, and having confidence within yourself and taking pride in what you're doing. And then you also have Libra. So Libras are very kind of balanced as well. They kind of are about love, money, and powers of attraction, but they're also come at things in a very, very balanced energy. And it's funny because you have Temperance here. I definitely think that, that you could be dealing with a Libra, but I feel like this is saying that you might need to have that type of Librian energy of kind of coming in at something and being even kiltered with it. Now, you also have this little guy here raising up his arms. You have transformation and major changes. This is Pluto, and he represents transformation and major changes. And then you have Jupiter here, and this is about expansion and good fortune. You have the first house, which is all about appearance, ego, interest, and the self. And then you have the 10th house, which represents social status, career, and aspirations. And you have number 4 here, which is an even number. So that means a special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Tauruses, will be Mr. Predicto. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. So let me see. You have GDV 2741373. And, okay, so this guy, you have Nemo here. Now, he's a skeleton of a fish. He had a rough day. He's been picked clean. And you can think, in a sense, like he could be starting from fresh again. Because sometimes with the pages, we go through these things. We might have been almost like a master at something, and then we start something different, and now we're the students again. So this guy, he might be starting new. I like to think positive, so I feel like he's going to be resurrecting himself. But for this reading, I feel like you might be feeling that, I don't want to say that you were scarcity or you that you have scarcity with maybe the knowledge of regarding this aspect or some, or the situation, like you could be new at something. You might not have the meat or the flesh, or you might not, have all the components or with this. So you might be feeling like you're kind of coming with the 2-inch brush, like Bob Ross said. But I think this is saying that what you do have is almost like the foundation for it. And that's the most important part, because within the foundation, you now build upon it. Like we're all just a meat suit and a bunch of bones, but without our bones, we wouldn't have that foundation to kind of help us. So I think the foundation really is the most important aspect, and then you actually grow and expand upon that. So I feel like with the Page of Pentacles, whatever this represents for you, you really have the strong or the good foundation. So within that, you're capable of actually, adding to the meat suit in a sense. You're capable of adding to the bones or the foundation to kind of create something more with substance. So I think this is saying that you just have the most important things, and now you can just add upon that as you go. Okay. Okay, so I had dropped these on the floor and I had glued them back together, but apparently it didn't want to stay glued. So this one says laugh. I have to find the other half of it, but you just, maybe this is the joke, because they were glued and they kind of like, now it's the joke. This is saying that, even though sometimes shit happens, things don't go quite right, like I don't have a full laugh here, I don't have a full stone, the other half is somewhere in there. You just have to take with what comes, and maybe sometimes within that situation, there's some humor to be found in it, So I think this is saying that even if you have to laugh just a little bit, sometimes find the humor in a situation. So I think that's fantastic. Okay, now it is time. Here we go. Think of those questions, Tauruses, and it's time to ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate prediction device to ever run off of batteries. What is the answer to Taurus's question?
Yes, without question.
Oh, he said yes without question, and he was super confident about that. So I hope that is a good answer to a question that you have. Okay. I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.